Somebody walk me through it. So, if I put 3 points out here?
Yeah.
Okay.
We want the middle portion of the bottom, so the midpoint of that bottom.
So that one would be there, and then this would be there, and then this one would be that one? That's what you're saying?
Yeah.
Okay, I like it. So you want the midpoint of the bottom?
Yep.
Why do we need the midpoint of the bottom?
Because that's where the vertical lines and the cross from the top point down. That's what the top sentence is saying.
The first sentence is saying that the median connects the vertex to the opposite side of the midpoint.
Yeah.
Okay. Yes, I like that explanation better. Yeah, than your first vertical line thing, because it's really not a vertical line. Just so you know.
Yeah, I know. I just didn't know how to explain it.
Okay. So where is the midpoint to the bottom one?
5,0.
Okay.
Now we need the slope of that median using the m equals y1 minus y2 over x1.
So the slope formula?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to use a slope formula between 5, 0, between this point and this point, right? Okay. So the slope there then is going to be 4 minus 0 all over 8 minus 5. Agree with 4/3. Okay. Is that it?
I'm using the point slope form in a find your equation.
A lot of people just ended right here on their homework.
It asks for the equation.
It asked for the equation though, didn't it? Yeah. A lot of people found me the side lengths of the triangle too. But it asked for the equation. Yeah. Okay. So which point do you want to use? 5, 0? Okay. I'm okay with it. Y minus 0 equals 4/3 times x minus 5. Yeah? Okay. So that's already in y equals form, right? Yes? For what? Mm-hmm. Yep. If I needed the side length, yes, I could Pythagorean theorem. But I don't need a side length. I need the equation of the line running from that point 8, 4 through 5, 0. Which I think, other than the finding of the 5, 0 point, we did finding the equations of lines back, I think, way back in chapter 2. Okay? So, from yesterday now, what are my 5 steps to graphing a parabola? Opening first, right? Okay. And how do I go about identifying the direction of opening? What are the 2 things that I have to look at? Claire, give me one. Which variable is squared? Okay. Go a little more in depth into that for me.
If it's x squared, it's going to go up or down.
Okay.
And if it's y squared, it'll go left or right.
Fantastic. I love that. So if the x is squared, it's up or down. If the y is squared, it's left or right. Love it. Okay? What's the second thing that I got to look at? What about the 4p? If the 4p is positive, then I'm going to go the positive direction, right? Which would be up or right. Okay? And if that 4p is negative, down or left. Where do I find that 4p? The non-squared variable. Yep. Okay. So that 4p is the coefficient of the non-squared variable. Okay. That's step number 1. Okay. I'd write it down. But that's just me. I'm crazy like that. Just so you know, we're going to be clear and concise steps today. So if you want to rewrite them down, that's all I'm just going to show today. Okay. Step number 2. Vertex, right? And how do I go about identifying the vertex? The numbers that are attached after the variables, yes. Because the numbers, because we were talking about 4p being attached to that other one, yeah, And because we're probably going to have parentheses, right? We got to think opposite. Right? Inside of parentheses, we think opposite. Okay? So we figured out which way it's going to open. We found the vertex. Now, finding the vertex, that's going to be an answer to a question on every quiz going forward. Okay? That's going to be question number 2, basically. Okay? Question number 1 is going to say graph it. Question number 2 is going to say what's its vertex. Okay? What's my third step? The p-value. So, and why does that p-value matter? You're right in identifying the p-value, but why? Somebody else. Why is that p-value important? Somebody hasn't spoken yet today.
It's the distance from the vertex to the focus and the distance from the vertex to the directrix.
Directrix. Yep, exactly. So we say that 4p is the number in front of the non-squared variable. So I divide that number by 4, and that gives me p. Then p is the distance from the vertex to the focus and from the vertex to the directrix. So that allows me to get where the focus is, which would be another question. The next question would be, where's the focus? And then the fourth question would be, where's the directrix?
When plotting out the vertex and focus, then
Focus is inside.
is that 1p or is that like
How many p's you?
yeah? Is it like a half the p distance? Like
No. That's you're thinking next one. Yep. Nope. You're thinking the next one. This is straight up p. Okay. Fourth step from yesterday. By the width of the parabola. How wide is the parabola? So the width of the parabola is 4p. Where is it 4p wide? Through the focus. Yep. Okay. So step number 4 is find the width of the parabola through the focus. And then lastly, step 5 is What's step 5? Just axis of symmetry. Okay? And where can I find the axis of symmetry? Couldn't have said it better myself. It's the line that goes through the focus and the vertex. Okay? So that's either going to be a horizontal or a vertical line, depending upon left, right, up, down. Okay? All right. I want us to graph now y squared equals 20x. Okay? So, step number 1 says, which way does my parabola open? We got Tim? To the right, because y is being squared, so that's left or right. And that's positive, so that's going to be to the right. Love it. Step number 2 says, where be my vertex? The origin? Do we agree with 0, 0, the origin? Look at the numbers after the x and after the y. Nothing comes after either one of them. I would agree 0, 0. For P is how much? So that means P is how much? Actually, I'm going to move that. I don't like putting it there. I'm going to go down here with it. Oops. Maybe not. Somebody other than Kaysen. So what's P? 5? Okay. So P is 5. That means, Lexus told us earlier, that the distance from the focus, or excuse me, from the vertex, which is our purple dot, to the focus is 5. Because that's P. Which way is the focus? To the right. Right? Because it's opening to the right, and the focus is inside the parabola. So my focus is going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Right there. So that means my focus is at 5, 0. Lexus went on to say before that P is also the distance from the vertex to the directrix. Which way is the directrix? Left. It's opposite that. Okay? So my directrix then would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Would be right there. And what's the equation of that line? X what? Equals -5. Step 4 says, how wide is my parabola through the focus? It's 20 wide, right? So that means at the focus, I'm going to go up how many? 10, and down 10. that now allows me to draw in my parabola. And lastly, what is my axis of symmetry? Y equals 0. And that's it. That's all she-
Do you want us to like label the axis of symmetry? Okay.
We can put it on there, I suppose. Okay. You graph me that one. Opening. Up. Do we agree with up? Axis being squared, 4p is positive. I would agree that it opens up. Vertex. What you got? -2 comma -3. Do we agree with -2 comma -3? Okay. So that is right there. 4p. What is 4p? If 4p is 16, what is p? 4. So since it opens up, which way from my vertex, up, down, left, right, is my focus? Up. So I got to go up 4 from my focus. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Or, excuse me, I said from the focus, from the vertex. Okay? So I go up 4 from the vertex. That puts me at the point -2, comma, +1. Yes? Okay. Then I would go, since I went up to get the focus, that means I'm going to go down to get the directrix. What's the equation of that line?
Y equals -7.
How wide is my parabola at the focus? 16, because it's 4p. So that means I'm going to go left. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And right 8. Allows me to draw it in. And finally, I can put in my axis of symmetry, which is the line that goes through the vertex, and the focus, which is the line x equals -2. Okay. Graph that bad boy. Opens. Left. Y is squared. 4p is negative. That's a left opening. Vertex. What do you got? -1, comma 2.
Oh, wait,
Well, Oh, I like 2 comma negative 1 better. Yeah. For P. Can I just write 4P as 6? Because we've already used the negative aspect to it. Okay. So then what's P? Or 1.5, right? Okay. All right. So where then would my focus be? 0.5 comma negative 1. Because I'd have to go 1.5 to get there. Okay? So my focus is right there. Okay? Which means that my directrix then is 1.5 the other way. Which is the line x equals 3.5. Where x equals 7/2. Because who loves fractions? We love fractions.
Do you want the fractions rather than the vectors?
Should be. It won't be anything more than 0.25. You know what I mean? Because you're dividing by 4. So it's either going to be a whole number, 0.25, 0.5, or 0.75. So it's not bad. Because you're only dividing by 4. Okay? Width through the focus. 6. So that means I'm going to go up 3 and down 3. That allows me to now draw it in. Just remember that parabolas aren't straight. We're not drawing absolute values here. They have a curve to them. Right? They have a curve to them. Axis of symmetry. Y equals negative 1.
So is it like whatever the square term is the axis of symmetry?
Yeah. And whatever's not squared is going to be your directrix. Your directrix and your axis of symmetry can't be the same letter. Because they're perpendicular. Okay? The homework sheet that I gave out to you will be due on Tuesday. Okay? I recommend that you start it this weekend. Because you can do everything but, right now, the last 6. So you can do the first 9. And save the last 6 for Monday night.